Hello and welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Kathleen Lugo. Today we will focus on looking into the talents of Menchville students as they perform in the 10th annual Menchville Rocks. In sports-related news, Woodside basketball team recently went to the state championship. While they unfortunately lost, they gave a valiant effort and the game ended in a score of 57-67. Today we have the honor of having Heritage basketball coach Michael Gardner and a few of his players, Leland Richardson, Darius Huff, and Linwood Walker, here with us today. He coached his team all the way to the playoffs. Welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. What were some of the goals you were striving for this season?
I think when we first started out, it was to advance further than we did last year, to get to the regional playoffs, to hopefully advance past that into the state tournament. And as we started going throughout the course of the season, I think our goals sort of changed somewhat. We thought that we had an opportunity if we got into the into the state tournament, the regional tournament, that we had an opportunity to actually win the state tournament. And so I think our goal changed from getting into the regional playoffs, going a step further than last year, into actually trying to win the state championship. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, but we made a great effort at it.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have any goals this season?
Win the state championship. That was the main goal as the team that we talked about the whole off season. To just win the state championship.
Okay.
That was our goal.
As a coach, do you try to instill certain morals or values into your athletes?
Well, I don't think anything different from most coaches. I think we try to make sure that they are responsible, that they are, dependable to one another. We try to ensure that they understand the values learned on the basketball court translates, into their everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result of that, we try to do certain things, set goals in practice. Hopefully they can meet those goals, and don't meet those goals, and there's some consequences for that. But as a general rule, I think we're pretty much what most basketball teams or athletic teams are, I think.
Okay. For the players, how does what Coach Gardner instill in you as players affect your life?
I mean, what Coach Gardner does, he wants us to be more than just basketball players. He wants us to prepare ourselves as young men, just not in basketball, but also off the court as well, in the classroom, whatever it takes.
Okay. What about you guys?
Basically, he wants us to lead, not in front of the basketball team, but also off the court and in the school, and just be leaders everywhere we go.
He just wants us to be where we want to be. He motivates us through basketball. He just wants us to do the best we can do.
Okay. Discuss your recent playoff game. Tell us about that.
Which one? Our last one was against GW Danville. That's the one we lost at Richmond, VCU. This is the one you're looking at here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that one.
That one. It was, I guess the end result, because we lost, was sort of disappointing. I think some of the things that we talked about throughout the course of the season, were evident in this game, where we got out to a slow start. Defensively, we didn't do some of the things that we worked on throughout the course of the season. But as we went along, you saw the resilience of our team. We actually fought back. We had opportunities. We just couldn't pull it off. All in all, I think some of the just being at VCU for the first time for some of them, I think, not so much VCU, but the actual quarterfinal game, the state tournament game, I think it may have had some impact early on. But I think as we went along, the experience was good for us. The guys started to play a little better as we went along, and we had an opportunity all the way to the end. Hopefully, this experience, carries them on to the next year and the year after that.
Okay. How quickly do you adapt to Coach Gardner's adjustments during the course of the game as players?
Fast.
Mm.
I mean,
That's a good question.
For me, I'm so used to it. So I've been doing this last year, so it's as soon as he say do it, I do it.
Right.
Leland?
As a team, to get it in about one or two plays. But me, I usually take maybe three, because I'm used to doing the thing we were doing before.
Right.
I usually pick it up.
It's become basically like second nature, because You never know. Certain times in the game, he'll switch us to a different defense at just like the snap of a finger, and we got to adjust to it quick.
Right.
Actually, they're pretty good at it. I mean, we anytime you talk about sports or whatever, is you're striving for excellence and perfection. But for the most part, they do. These guys, they're pretty cool. They try anyway. It doesn't always work. That's sport though. But they try to make the adjustments. That's the good part about it.
Okay. What do you think you and your team learned from this playoff experience?
What do I think they learned?
Yeah.
I think most importantly is preparation. I don't think that the week leading up to the quarterfinal game, I thought we had a bad week of practice. I don't think we prepared properly, whether that was the coaching staff, whether that the players, but I just think that our energy level wasn't quite there. Mm-hmm. And as we got to the game, I think it sort of shook them a little bit early on. That's why I think we had the issues that we had early in the game, some of the breakdowns, because it was just things that we do that they were normally doing. I mean, the week before, we played pretty good, in the regional tournament. In our conference tournament, we were pretty decent, defending the ball and getting back on defense and things of that sort. But in this game, of course, we started out the game, we weren't doing those things. And I think it was probably, like I said before, because of the atmosphere, the magnitude of the game. But I think we learned quite a bit, through this whole process. Okay.
Is there anything you would have done different this season or better?
What I've done differently? I don't know, because I think the result, remember when I said we started out with wanting to go a game further in the regional tournament, yes. And then we actually, sort of changed our goals. Mm-hmm. So I guess, I don't know if there was anything that we're going to do differently. I don't know if we'd have got a better result, other than the fact that I maybe that week of practice, we could have honed in a little bit more and just driven them a little further. I don't know if that would have worked. Because in all actuality, most folks look at us, the reason we're even sitting here today is probably because we were sort of successful in what we did. Mm-hmm. And so some people looking at us as overachieving, so I don't know what exactly we could have made a difference in and to make it better. Mm-hmm. I guess in the whole off season from between now and between the time we play next year, I'll go over that and try to figure that out, right, so we don't make those mistakes again.
Okay. I want to thank you guys again for coming. It was a pleasure having you guys.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us.
We have to take a quick break. Stay tuned.
You don't have to change just to fit in. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Just be yourself, and I promise people will enjoy it. Just be yourself. Be your real, imperfect, flawed, quirky, weird, beautiful, and magical person you are. Be yourself. Because everyone else is already taken. Just be you.
Welcome back. Menchville High School recently had their 10th annual Menchville Rocks. Here's a short clip.
Well, the North Country means to get me now. Lost my money playing poker, so I don't believe my money ain't turning mine. I'm living that life no more.
What a talented handful of students, and what a great house band. Thanks for watching this edition of Focus. I'm your host, Catherine Lugo. See you next time.